Hi, we're in England and we're going to do some chat about Chinese pottery. So we need to start with porcelain. Not all Chinese pottery is porcelain. There are different types of pottery. There is porcelain, there is stoneware, there are ordinary forms of pottery. But this mainly, there's these few videos we're going to do mainly about porcelain. Porcelain is made of fine particles of clay, otherwise known as kaolin. And what would have happened in China in the early years when the porcelain industry got rolling, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, they would have gathered the kaolin from the hillside or the riverbeds or the lakes. And fundamentally, when you wash natural clay in its natural form, in its natural location, if you apply water to raw clay, the runoff settles in different areas. The dense particles of clay will sink and be dropped by the water. The fine particles of clay will be suspended by the water and be carried further and be dumped in a different place. So nowadays, when they're harvesting porcelain, harvesting kaolin to make porcelain, they will take a hillside. They will use a hose and they will blast the clay, the natural clay, and there'll be a large sinking pool where the water will gather, and there will be certain areas, certain sediments, which will be the finest sediment. So the first thing about this porcelain, it's made of kaolin, it's made of China clay, and that would have been gathered in China, unfortunately, on the whole, by slaves, or certainly indentured workers, or forced labour, or you could say peasant labour if you were being charitable. When it came to the painting and the potting and the marketing, it would have been artisans. We know there was slavery because in the port of Canton, in the warehouses, notably the 13 warehouses for the main countries of export, which included America, the Netherlands, England, France, for example, they used slaves, forced labour, to do the ship packing. And of course in China in those days they would have used children as well. So though it looks very nice and pretty, which it is, it's got a hard side to it, which is never discussed. So porcelain is a hard type of pottery. It is bright, it is hard, it is shiny, it is vitreous, meaning it doesn't stain. If you break a piece of porcelain, it breaks like a piece of glass. It goes into shards which have sharp edges, like a piece of broken glass or piece of flint. If you break a normal piece of pottery or stoneware, there is more of a granular texture and it breaks a different way. If you break a piece of porcelain, it is the same colour all the way through, usually bright white. There are different types of porcelain. There's hard porcelains and soft porcelains and gritty ones and extremely fine ones. But basically it's stain proof or stain resistant, it's hard and dense, it's glass-like, and it's fairly expensive. And you have to be, when you're buying your Chinese pottery, you've got to be able to make sure you can tell the difference between porcelain and white glazed pottery. White glazed pottery, like this cup made in China now, a modern one, is white glazed pottery is a cheap way of making something that looks like porcelain. And in Japan and China there are some pots which are white, which are not porcelain, they are white glazed pottery. So just be aware of that. On the whole, stoneware or non-porcelain pottery has less of a bright ring to it. It's a simplistic thing to say, but for the purposes of this video, if you're buying ordinary pottery, it has a dull sound. And while we're just talking about sound, if you're tapping the edge of a porcelain bowl and it has a dull, hollow sound, it can be restoration. The restoration material can be resin or other materials, and it might look the same, but there's sometimes the sound is different. And sometimes with restored pottery, it discolours over time and you can see a yellowness. So we've covered what porcelain is and where it's from. What's happened in latter years is the English and the Dutch, particularly in French as well, decided they're quite, and the Viennese quite like this Chinese pottery because it was coming into the marketplace. The Chinese were very careful not to let anyone into China to discover how they made it. And what happened in Delft and in England is they started to make these white glazed pottery things I was talking about, and they would use a tin glaze, so it would be called faience or maiolica or tin glaze, and you'll find Delft plates which look Chinese. They're copying the Chinese, but they are not porcelain. They are earthenware with a white glaze, a Chinese style of decoration. This is a family of rose. There are other types of Chinese pottery. There is celadon green, there is crackle glaze, there is blue and white. You name it, they've got it. But when you're looking at the Chinese pottery, there is the Chinese pottery, the Japanese pottery. There is the European styles pottery mimicking the porcelain and mimicking the Chinese designs. And to further confuse it, once the trade in this stuff grew, the Chinese started to make Chinese-made porcelain in the style of European pottery. For example, they will have made Chinese porcelain with European or English armorial crests on. So if you find a plate with an English crest on it with Chinese decoration, it probably is Chinese, though it is made to an English request. So it's very interesting. It's extremely difficult to get your head around it, but once you get your head around this Chinese pottery, it's a wonderful topic discussion, and we're going to go on to another video now about prices. Thank you.